Hello guys and welcome back. In today's video we're going to be doing another historical game spotlight with Kingdom Come Deliverance, possibly the most realistic medieval game we will ever see. It's worth noting I haven't actually played the game yet and I'm still considering if I should pay the full asking price for it. And I presume most of you watching this video are in the same situation. So the aim of this video is to help you guys, the subscribers, as well as me, to decide whether or not we should pay the £50 or $60 asking price. So, let's begin. I think the best place to begin is giving you a short description of the game. So it describes itself as a first-person realistic RPG that will take you to medieval Europe. You can experience a thrilling action-adventure realistic role-playing game featuring non-linear story and revolutionary first-person melee combat set in medieval Europe. Use various weapons, craft supplies, take part in historical battles, participate in castle sieges, and master the art of sword fighting. A dark path awaits you full of tough decisions, dirty quests, unexpected story twists, and bloody conflicts. Redeem your past and emerge a hero. That was a very impressive opening statement, and I think we should explore some of the features that they talked about, beginning with probably the most important thing with any medieval game, the combat system. Here we can see an example of the combat taken directly from the beta. Now I give credit to this video to Nick Cozy Gaming and his channel link will be in the description. The combat is as accurate to 15th century fighting as possible. Both you and your opponent will carry out actual medieval fencing techniques which have been fully incorporated into the game. You'll be able to choose from a range of weapon classes including crossbows, short swords, long swords, axes, maces, hammers, shields, spikes and bows. The physics of the combat will include realistic reactions to all your movements, including blocking, striking and missing. This will also account for player and land height as well as terrain variations. A quote from their website reads, "You need time to understand and learn the combat patterns. You can't rush into battle and win really easily. This is unlike upcoming medieval games such as For Honor because you are not some form of invincible tank, allowing for further immersion and realism, which I think is absolutely brilliant." Now we've finished talking about the combat system, we can move into probably the most impressive section of this game, the map. So Kingdom Come Deliverance features an open world map based on 15th century Europe, more specifically the region of Bohemia, covering a large 16 square kilometer area. The map is rich in culture, religion, resources, castles, amongst a beautiful, sprawling landscape. The full map has not yet been revealed, but according to the fact sheet from the Kingdom Come Deliverance team, it says, if you can see it, you can visit it. So, I suppose, if you can see something, you can go ahead and visit. If you see a castle on the skyline or on the horizon, you can go over there and visit it and see what life is like in that castle. Obviously they've tried to make it as authentic as possible, so the life inside the castle is a rough estimation of what life would have been like in a castle during that time period, which I think is so unique to this game. Each individual building is incredibly well detailed. The best example of this is through the monastery footage you have been seeing on screen. I cannot fault the impeccable detail. It's simply amazing in my opinion. I still am stunned by just what these guys can actually produce, and I think it's the best I've seen in any game. There are so many different locations across the map, including villages, camps, forests and castles, which I personally am most excited for the castles, as I mentioned previously. There are different quests and storylines to be found in some of these locations, and you can take part in events such as tournaments within castles, and overall the map is probably the highlight of this game, and I honestly cannot wait to explore it. I mean, it's huge as well, 16 kilometers by 16 kilometers. For an open world game, that's not bad, and I'm looking forward to playing it. It wouldn't be very fitting for a game like this to go without a storyline for your character in particular, as well as the country or land he is playing in. So the story is as follows. The king is dead, and his eldest son Wenceslas IV becomes the new king of Bohemia. Wenceslas' enraged half-brother Sigismund imprisons Wenceslas and invades the country with his mighty army. Unfortunately, in the midst of this chaos, your character Henry suffers a very traumatic event. The mercenary army under Sigismund destroys your home and kills your family. You are the sole survivor of the bloodbath, and it is here that your road to redemption starts. So you now know the land has been ravaged by the evil brother Sigismund, and you are a lone man, you have no family in the area, and you've got to take the world for your own. And it's going to be interesting to see how the character develops and how the map develops over time, whether the neighboring areas are going to be angry that the non-rightful king has taken the country. Who knows? We'll find out though, I guess, when we play the game. Saying that, I'm not 100% sure whether this war between the two brothers is still going on, or whether it's ended, or whether Wenceslas won, or whether Sigismund lost. Who knows? I can't really find out on the internet, but I'm sure we'll find out when I jump in game. In my opinion, there is one thing every single decent medieval game needs, and that's large-scale battles, and I think that's everybody's favourite thing to play in the medieval genre. And I think battles are just a little bit better if there's something leading up to it, such as a story, or someone's killed your friend and you have to go and avenge them, or something like that, instead of just having a random, spiteless battle. Now, Kingdom Come Deliverance does follow this format. There are large battles within the game, but unlike competing games such as Bannerlord, they occur a lot less frequently, so I'm told. And they are more of a special experience with a storyline leading up to it, and the battles themselves, from what I've seen from the small clips, are going to be very, very good. I saw a gameplay trailer and the battle in there looked amazing. Oh my god, with the different coloured knights with their different coloured shields and a long line of armoured infantry and cavalry. I cannot get over that. It looked so cool. Now, the battle you are seeing on screen now is a smaller one. I think they're trying to take the church from a group of bandits, and I quite liked it. It does look very, very fun to play, I'm not going to lie, especially when he approaches the whole area with his long line of men. That looked very, very epic. But there was one thing that held me back, and it wasn't the gameplay. The gameplay looked fine, the combat looks fine. It was the sounds. Like, I didn't expect that to be as timid as it was. When you hit someone, it sounds like you've just hit a desk, like this. I don't know if you're going to hear that. But it's not very satisfying to kill someone. Now, I know they're aiming for realism, but sometimes I just want to hear like a very satisfying stabbing sound instead of like a knock. Again, this isn't a massive problem. It's something that I can get over very easily just because the game is so phenomenal. Now I'd like to talk about the RPG elements. You basically play as Henry, a blacksmith's son, and enter into the service of a noble who assigns you to engaging tasks and quests. How you choose to shape your character depends entirely on you. You can be violent, use weapons, or use your charisma and avoid conflict. Keep in mind, whatever you choose to do, that you will face the consequences, as there are multiple ways to solve the quests. Everything is as accurate to history as possible, making for the perfect medieval RPG. The RPG element of the game is something we do not have to worry about at all. I think they've perfected that from what I've seen, and I think it's going to be probably the most immersive medieval game we will ever play. I mean, Warband wasn't that immersive. It felt like you were playing, well, not really in medieval times, as it's fantasy, I guess. But again, I really, really enjoy the theme that this game is going along, and after making this video, I really cannot wait to buy this and play. Next up, I would like to talk about the beta and what's in it. Now, you can get the beta right now if you want to. You can pay the £50 and then you get the beta for free. And then when the game comes out, you get the game, well, in its normal state. So, what features does the beta have? And is it worth buying now so you can go ahead and play the beta before the game comes out? You have the first introduction to the epic story of Kingdom Come Deliverance. You have several new fully fledged quests with multiple solutions. You have the first important historical battle. You have new engaging interactions with NPCs. You expanded stealth systems from the alpha version. Visibility, takedowns, poisoning, sabotage, and disguises. There's a huge enlargement of the map compared to the alpha release. There's new villages, castles, and deep forests. There's new dynamic weather systems. And also an introduction of the crime system and lockpicking. Now, I think that's almost everything I wanted to speak about. If you are interested in looking at the game in a lot more detail, however, make sure to check the description for 2 links. The first will take you to their website where you can look at what I've been talking about in a lot more detail in terms of the RPG element, in terms of how to buy the game, etc. Also, if you look at the other link in the description, it will take you to their YouTube channel where they have multiple streams and updates with a lot of gameplay if you want to look at more gameplay on it. Now, there was actually one last thing I wanted to talk about before I do the outro bit, and that is the specs, basically. You need a quad-core CPU, a GPU with DirectX 11 with a capable GPU, you need a RAM of 8GB, a HDD space of 20GB, and you need Windows 7 x64. It's not very specific, and it doesn't give you specs in the way of building a computer that will definitely run it, but I'm sure you'll know if your computer can run it or not. So, at the end of this video, we are left with one question. Will I be buying this game? And I think you guys will be asking yourselves, should I buy this game? Now, there are 3 other medieval titles that have caught my eye. You have For Honor, which is a console-based medieval game, which is coming out on PC as well. It has a decent storyline, but nothing compared to Kingdom Come Deliverance. I would choose Kingdom Come Deliverance over it any day. Now, there's Bannerlord. Now, Bannerlord is my biased opinion, you could say, because I've been playing Warband for a year and a half now, and it's my favourite game of all time. So if I had to choose between Bannerlord and Kingdom Come Deliverance, I would probably choose Bannerlord just because I've been playing Warband for a year and a half. But if I was new to medieval games and enjoyed single-player only games, I would definitely go for Kingdom Come Deliverance. But if I was a single-player and multiplayer gamer, I would definitely go for Bannerlord. But again, that's up to you guys, up to your preference. And I think looking at videos on both of them and deciding which one's your favorite is probably the best thing you can do. Anyway, guys, that will wrap it up for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I've really enjoyed making this video. If you are interested, make sure to check the description for all the links I talked about previously in the video, as well as links to things such as my Patreon where you can donate, such as my Mountain Blade event Steam group, where I'll post announcements on any Mountain Blade events I have. And make sure to hit that like button if you did enjoy the video, as well as hitting subscribe if you're new. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a brilliant day. I'm off to start training now to play with my friends and basically train and fight some people, kill some people. It's going to be fun, and I will see you in the next one.